Welcome back to Post Time. There are so many people who work behind the scenes of harness racing and deserve to be recognized. One of those people is Marv Bachrad, and at the annual Delaware Standardbred Owners Association's banquet, he was given a special appreciation award. Okay, Marv, why don't we find out first, how did you become totally in love with harness racing?
It's a very good question. I never knew anything about horses. I got out of the Army. I was about 20 years old, and a friend of mine one day said, we've got nothing to do on a Monday. Let's go to Brandywine. A friend had just bought a brand new 1960 Chevrolet, which had 9 seats. And I was sitting with one looking out the back. Got out of the car, we started to walk toward Brandywine, and Brandywine was a beautiful racetrack. And you could hear Roy Shutt in the background saying an announcement. And we walked into the racetrack, and a fellow named Joe Hyland was one of the top drivers of that era. And I used to live next door to him. And I didn't even know it. I used to see his truck outside, and I'd see the bikes and everything in his car. And I knew he lived with his sisters when he raced at Brandywine, and his sisters had the house right next door. So when we were there, we saw there was a horse, and Joe Hyland was driving. And Joe got locked in. We had bet on him. And so the next week, Joe Hyland goes off at 7-1. And I had a $2 ticket on there. And ever since then, I went to the races. It was, that's the way things went.
That is the greatest story ever, because isn't that funny? Don't you just always remember your very first wager, your very first winning wager? That's the one you want to remember. But it's funny, everyone knows you as a publicity guy, around these parts, but really you've done a lot of other things. You were an announcer, right?
Yes. Back in those days, I was working at the Norristown, Pennsylvania radio station. I worked there for about 10 years. And I did the sports and play-by-play and played records and really enjoyed myself. And when that station was sold and became an automated station, I went to work for KYW and WCAU in Philadelphia. And at that time, stations used to change their format quite often. And I figured, well, I'm getting stuck in the middle of these changes. And the best thing was racing was great. And so there was a job available. I went to work at Garden State Park before it burned down. And I used to call out the results to the radio stations back in those days. And then when the publicity director left, the job was open, and believe it or not, I got it. And so I was there right at the time of the fire, when it was a great racetrack. It was a thoroughbred track at the time. And at that time, I also was working at Liberty Bell. I called the races there. And then I went to work at Brandywine. And I was at Brandywine for about 20 years, right up until the track went out of existence, unfortunately. And Dennis McLinn gave me a call. I was working in Harrisburg at Times and Harness magazine. And Dennis said, hey, we're back with full-time harness racing. Dennis had been the president of Brandywine when the track ceased operation. And this was back in 1996, and here I am.
You've been called a legend. How cool is that? Honestly, really, how does it feel when somebody says, you're like a legend in the sport?
Well, I've been around so long, I guess there are no other words to describe.
Now, I'm telling you, we are so blessed to have you in the first state. Thank you. Your award for special appreciation, definitely deserved. I appreciate you so much, Marv. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, we certainly appreciate you, and we appreciate the DSOA, and hopefully things will get bigger and better as time goes on, and we'll all be part of it.
All right. Thank you, Marv, and thank you so much for being on the show again.
My pleasure.
In our final race of the show, we'll head over to Marv's main track these days, and that's Dover Downs. Lately, at the 5/8 mile oval, there have been some incredible payoffs. And this one is a doozy, for lack of a better word. Let's take a look.
They're off. There goes Rusty's For Real. Right up for that lead. Also leaving is Rusty's Gamble. Malosi gets away in third. Racing up in fourth, Sniper Hall. Outside, Devil's Ivy. Behind Devil's Ivy is Catch Me Cullen. Then comes Art Ciano. The early trailers are Eagle Native and Art of Illusion. As they move around the turn, and Rusty's For Real has a 2-lane lead. Rusty's Gamble got away in second. Another 2 lanes back. That's Malosi, 26 4/5 as they race past the stands. Rusty's Gamble, 1.5 lengths. Make that Rusty's For Real over Rusty's Gamble. On the outside, here comes Sniper Hall, and Sniper Hall is up after the lead as they go to the clubhouse turn. Sniper Hall and Rusty's For Real. Rusty's Gamble back to third. As they approach the half, Sniper Hall gets to the front. Rusty's For Real back to second. Rusty's Gamble third. Racing on the outside, Devil's Ivy. With the rail, that's Malosi. Outside comes Catch Me Cullen in front of Art Ciano. Trailing up, they go up the backstretch, Eagle Native and Art of Illusion, 55 seconds. And Sniper Hall's made the front. Rusty's For Real racing, second on the outside, Devil's Ivy. Rusty's Gamble's got the rail. Catch Me Cullen outside in fifth and trying a 3-wide move. Next is Malosi. They go into the far turn. Sniper Hall, 3/4 in 123 4. Sniper Hall. Devil's Ivy on the outside toward the rail. That's Rusty's For Real. Catch Me Cullen is next. Then comes Rusty's Gamble. Trapped is Malosi. Art Ciano's alongside. And they're at the top of the stretch. Turning for home, it's Sniper Hall with the lead. Sniper Hall by about a lane. Devil's Ivy not going away. Devil's Ivy from the outside up after the lead. And Devil's Ivy gets the lead and pulls away. Rusty's For Real is second best. And then it was Catch Me Cullen and Sniper Hall, 152 4.
Whether you like to put $2 right on the nose or you love playing the exotics, this race had long shot lovers smiling from ear to ear. Devil's Ivy with Eric Adele won in 152 4 and paid $96.80 for a $2 wager to win. Rusty's Real was 50 1 and took second, and Catch Me Cullen was 20 1 and took home third. The 7/8 exacta paid $1,650.80. Well, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today because I enjoyed having you around. And I hope you come out to Dover Downs this week. We've got 6 nights of fabulous live action. This is the schedule. Monday through Thursday, first race post times at 4:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, our weekend post time is at 5:30 p.m. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you at the track, and God bless.
Post Time is taped in front of a live studio audience.